All right, so yeah, welcome back. Recently, we looked at the product requirement, and we have learned most of it, while we just have some few to go. We have looked at the overview and the project team, right? And in the previous video, you can find that the target users, that is, who are we designing this for? So you have to, so this is a requirement gathering document. You are gathering requirements you want to use in building this application. So you are gathering the requirement, and don't forget you are gathering this requirement from the stakeholders, the management team, or maybe the client you are trying to build this application for. So you have to look at the target users. So you are gathering information about these target users. Who are they? What would they be using this application for? And when should this application be ready? You're looking at the timeline for completion. You have to divide the project in sprints for ease completion, or maybe MVP and so on. So we have explained all this in the previous video. I just want to do a recap so that you understand what we have explained, and the next we are going into. So what are the problems it will solve? So we are looking at that a solution that cater for um, the experience we had during the COVID time. Oh, sorry, not during the COVID time, during the cashless policy, when there was little cash in circulation, and so many people who want to do some payment would have to use payment solution and solution providers to get their payments done. And so some of the problems that existed around then is that there was lack of cash. So people suffered from less available cash in the economy. So we have little cash available, but so many people have money in their banks, but they can't convert that, or they can't just get that into cash. So they would need a payment solution to be able to pay, since cash is not available, or maybe little cash was available at that time. So there should be so we are trying to build a solution that makes this money of the users, which are in their bank account, available for them to use in stores, superstores, supermarkets, and wherever they want to use these monies for. So we are developing an app, an iOS application, an Android application that can do both B2B, that's business to business, and that can receive fund, that can send fund, and do some little payments, maybe utilities like data, like water, electricity, etc. Now, another problem that was encountered at that time was that we have a lot of pending transactions. So the infrastructure that is used in building this application, maybe the DB, that's database, or maybe the APIs that were used in, or maybe third-party APIs that were consumed in the application or during the integration, was not really functioning properly. So we had some lots of pending transactions during this time. Like, this is specifically to Nigeria. Now we had lots of pending transaction and monies that left the user's application. Yeah, so it left the user wallet, but it was not credited in the receiver's wallet. So we need to really build an application that can cater for this problem. And we also have dubious activities in the sense where maybe cybersecurity issues, maybe back-end issues. We had fake alerts where some people can be able to send fake alerts to some other people, telling them that they made a transaction, a credit transaction to them, and that was wrong, and that was not it was not true, it was false. So we are building an application that can cater for all this. So now, if you are gathering a requirement for this application will be a payment solution, right? So this application will be a payment solution. Let me just put it there, a payment solution. The payment solution, and the key players of this application would be one. So we'll be looking at the users, those that will be opening opening an account, right? Yeah, so users will be able to send, receive money, pay bills, and do some utilities. So we just want the application to be very simple. So we also have the bank. Yeah, the bank would so if we're not a PSP, so the bank would give us their APIs. We'll consume the bank APIs or integrate the bank APIs. Yeah, so for transaction, so yeah, every user who creates an account will have an account. Bank. So this is for transfers and here for transfers. Then we would, we are doing utilities, and we are doing recharge. So would also integrate okay, let's say for verification, right? For verification, we have verification providers, uh, right? So we also integrate their APIs and so on. So these are few of the users that um but basically the users of this application just be different. All these other people are beneficiaries. They will just benefit from it because we'll be consuming their APIs and doing some business with them. So what are the key features? I've listed the key features here is by send, receive money. Sorry, is send money, receive money, buy airtime, data, then utilities like, let's say, um, um water. We also have electricity, etc. So this is just what, right? So if we're gathering requirements, I'm just giving you an overview. Like when we want to gather requirement, all this has to be explained that okay, these are the information that should have. So user type. This user type is so um basically on this application, right? The users are those that use the application, those that have this app installed on their phone. So would have maybe three categories of users. So not registered, unregistered, but we'll have those so we'll categorize them in here. Tier one, we have tier two, would also have tier three, right? So this will be so verification process would be that they would they will verify by maybe let's say they'll verify by email, phone number, and maybe they can be able to do limits of let's say they can do a 50K limit, 50K, yeah, in transaction, 50K transaction limit, right? So we are categorizing the users into types now. So the second one is that it will also be verification, but verification by um, NIN. Yeah, NIN. So these guys will be able to do so it could be NIN, it could be international passports, or any other, or government, or any government approved document. So these guys can be able to do 300K transaction limit, right? So this is for them, 300K. But also there are some regulations that the government put in place for this. So we would have to look at the regulations that the government has put in place to cater for this, right? Then maybe the tier three would have to verification by so this will not use BVN, right? And the BVN would now be, they can do 5 million. Yeah, so they can do up to 5 million. Up to 5 million and above transaction, right? So that's for this one. So this ones would do BVN, they will also do utility bill. Okay. This will be this utility bill. And this will be this, and so we want to verify their house address. Yeah, so they can do up to 5 million and above transactions. So now we have explained the type of users that will be in this application. So these are the three categories of user types, and the index. So we'll just put in buy, not buy sell now, but it would be sign in, sign up, sign in, right? Then you can send, receive money, top up data, utility bill payment, right? So now our competitors, who are our competitors? Our competitors. So you have to describe our competitors. So if you look at the solution we are providing, this is what is a payment solution. The payment solution, the solution we are providing, our core competitor. So we can have OPay, right? OPay as our competitor. We can have Momo. Okay, let's leave that. Let's just take OPay. Let's say PalmPay. Let's take most of these fintechs, right? They are our competitors. So you have to give some brief description about them, right? Um, about their market size and their platform. Do they have web? Do they have mobile? Do they have Android, iOS? Just list them and let's know the space we are competing with, right? So if we are providing Android solution, iOS solution, and so on. So what is our go-to-market strategy? So it is very important that you do a research about your competitor. Very important. So as you are gathering requirements, you want to also know your competitors, and as you are knowing your competitors, you want to gather some information about your competitors so that you can know what they are doing and how they do what they, if they are doing well, and can how you can um how you can relate with them. Sorry, not really relate with them. How you can um learn from them. Maybe you learn from their mistakes because the mistakes they have made, you don't want to make those mistakes again. The height they reach, maybe the success they get, you want to really get it because you have really studied them to understand what they do and how they do what they do, right? So that's one. Then you need to also define your go-to-market strategy. Go-to-market strategy. What is the strategy that you want to use for your go-to-market? How do you want to go to market? Would you do so your go-to-market strategy it consists of all the activities that you will do as you are launching into the market. Now that product is ready and you are ready to launch. That is, the application has been built, all the functionalities have been tested and they have passed, and the users you have done a UAT, the testing and everything has been done, and you are fine with the application and you are ready to go to the market, and um, you've pushed to all the stores, Play Store, iOS Store, and available for users to download. What is your go-to-market strategy? Will you be what's your pre-launch strategy and post-launch strategy? So your pre-launch is before launch. So this is LAUNCH, not launch, sorry. LAUNC. So before launch. Then post launch is after launch, right? So you have to define it. So before your launch, what will you do? Maybe you want to do UAT in-house. Maybe you want to do it with your co-colleagues, or you have a defined group. Um, um, you want to do some sensitization in schools, let's say in schools, let's say in marketplaces, or maybe you want to run some campaign. Let's say you want to also maybe some campaigns on social media, and maybe Google. But you need to really know your demography. Demography of people that you are targeting with this application. Are they what's the age range? You need to know the age range of the demography, the age range of your demography. Yeah, the age range, the occupation, and so on, their interests. Yeah, so that you can really target them very well if you are running a campaign on social media, on Google and Facebook, right? So that could be your pre-launch strategy, and maybe you want to give some incentive. Maybe you'll be doing incentive so maybe the first maybe 100 downloads. Let's say you are doing 100 downloads on Android. Let's say you're also doing 100 downloads on let's say you're doing 100 downloads on iOS, and you are doing that, and maybe there are some activities that they have to perform with it. Maybe you are doing 500 naira for 100 download, and they have to maybe top up their data. They can use it for airtime. They cannot cash out, right? Cannot cash out. They cannot cash out the incentive. So you just have to the team, mix with your marketing team. You have to mix with your product team, and you guys will have to discuss how you want to go about with this incentive and how the incentive will be coming up. So that's that could be your go-to-market strategy. Then after you have launched, right? Let's say you would now so the launch proper, maybe it's an event maybe in a hotel and suite, right? So this is a hotel and suite. Okay. So an event, maybe it's a 1 week event or maybe 2 days event, or I don't know. You just have to put all the strategy you're going to use in this event. Okay. Now after launch, right? What is your marketing strategy? Now you have launched. Now you have some users in the application, and now you started getting traction. Now you started monitoring your users, right? So you have monitoring users, monitoring application. Yeah, you need to monitor the application so that you know its behavior, just to know its behavior. Uh, on load and responsiveness. Uh, yeah, so you have to monitor the app and its behavior on load. So when I say load, I mean so you have so many users of this application now, and it's maybe when you have this certain number of users, the app really responds well. But when you have this certain number of users, so many people start sending a comments on your application. You have to really check the comment box, um, um, the top. Yeah, so you have to really do that to know what's up, and so that you can really do some development on this application. So now we are still gathering requirements, but this is requirement gathering, right? You are gathering requirements, but these requirements will really specify everything that will go on in this application, from your idea generation to launch, after launch, and how it's going to go after it. So we can also gather business requirements. So you list and link to any existing document connected to the project. Maybe you have some document, maybe DRD. Let's say you have some agreement with bank, your payment, your bank provider. Let's say you have intercom that intercom for your customer response. Let's say you also have APIs of yeah, the bank will give you their API. Let's say your bank. Let's say you also have APIs. So what APIs are we consuming here? So we have from bank, we have from data providers, so data and recharge card. Yeah, so we also have utility providers. So it depends on the services you are using. So you need to let us know the documentation of all this, the doc of it. You put the link of this doc that explains the business requirement, and this requirement would specify profit sharing. Let's say make a 5 naira from every transaction that is made, um maybe on transfers. Let's say for in-app transfer. Let's say we have users of this application. When a user of this application is sending money to another user of this application, maybe you won't charge the person. The person it's going to be free. But when a user is sending to another person outside the application, so the person is going to pay. Let's say the person is going to pay 10 naira for it, and you are taking a 5 naira on every transaction. So that is your agreement. Let's say you are taking a 5 naira. So 5 naira is like 50%. Let's say you are taking a 20%, 20% from transaction, right? 20%. Then for utility, let's say you are taking a 10%. So these guys, it's a one-time payment. Let's say it's a one-time payment or it's a monthly payment. Yeah, right? You understand what I'm saying? So for Intercom, they provide consumer support services, right? So they support your customers or your consumers, right? So let's say it's a one-time payment. So if for Intercom you have to do a one-time payment, or you want to do a monthly payment, or you want to do some kind of subscription, you know? Yeah. Okay, so for the bank, let's say bank will not give you a lot. Bank will not give you a lot. You can do it 2%. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So for recharge card, yeah, you don't take a lot from it. Also, it's volume that you can get from it. Every other document that would be needed, you have to put it here. The technical overview. You have the technical architecture web stack. Web stack and the API documentations. Yeah. Yeah. So architecture. Yeah, we also have your architecture. You can also do a progress architecture. Yeah. So you can have a progress architecture in case of change in web stack, in stack of development. Okay, let's say dev stack, so development stack. So maybe programming languages and so on that was changed. You have to put them there. Yes. Yeah, so you also have the link to the UI and UX prototype. Maybe you also have UI prototype. UI is user interface and UX is user experience prototype. You would also have your consumers or customers journey. Let's also say you would also have your user flow from end to end, yeah, so this is it. Then terms of use. So these terms of use, more of the time is going to be done by the legal. Yeah, so your legal team would legal. Yeah, so your legal team would have to bring out the terms of use and privacy policy. Yes, so they are the guys that knows how to write very well. So legal, this is legal, this is legal. So yes, so you would now yes, so SRD system requirement document, PRD product requirement document. You have to put the links here. So you don't have to you don't have to populate this document with so many information. It can give you links to other information that you can use as you go along with it. Then dependencies. So there be any dependency? Let's say for example, you don't have sufficient developers, or you don't have sufficient UI designers, or should there be any dependencies? So it has to be stated here when you are gathering the, the requirement, so that you know so this would also affect the timeline, the team members. So you need to know, are they working remotely? Do they have work to and everything? Do they have all we needed in making the solution a reality? So that you can know what to do. Are there any dependencies that would affect the production, or um that will affect this software development? You have to look at that and know you know you're gathering the requirements from your stakeholders. So your release date. So you have to indicate the expected release date for the product. Business dependencies must be ready in time for a big trade show, or maybe just whatever be the launch strategy or plan that you are bringing out, right? Now, let's come back to this. Mind you, most of these documents, they will be designed. So I'm just giving you some little stuff you have to do. You have to design them independently, make them independently, so that maybe the links will be attached here, but you need to know the overall requirements for this product. So we have talked about launch. Now, what is the tactics? And I explained it when we're talking about the launch, that in launch, to explain the launch plan, pre-launch plan, post-launch plan, before the launch, what will be going on during the launch, and all that happen after the launch. So that the product is being launched does not mean that you, as a product manager, go to sleep. No, it's just that a new phase in your product journey just began. All right. Thank you for joining the class. If you have questions, you can drop it on the comment box, and see you in the next class. Okay.